Well, good morning. The question for today is, can you take macro photographs with a telephoto lens? That's the question I thought I'd address in this video, and the short answer is no, you can't. So if that's what you want, the short answer, you can switch off and go and watch something else now. Thanks for visiting. For those of you who want me to talk a little bit more, I thought I'd just share with you some of the photographs that I've taken with my 200 to 500 lens on this Nikon D500, which gives an effective focal range of 750 millimeters. This is a full frame lens. This is a crop sensor body, so that magnifies your effective focal length by 1.5. So this is an excellent lens for bird photography, bird in flight photography, getting close up to distant objects. This lens is great for that. But how does it actually work when you want to take pictures of smaller things like insects, leaves, and maybe a detail of bark or something like that? So I thought I'd share with you some of the things that, some of the ways I use this lens to take those sorts of photographs. So if you're interested in that, hang around and let's go. So the focal range of this lens, 200 to 500, as I said, on a full frame body, which gives you effectively 300 to 750 on a crop sensor body, as I've got it mounted here. But the other good thing about this lens is it's got, for a pretty powerful telephoto lens, it's got quite a good close focusing range. So I can focus to about 7 feet, maybe just under 2 meters with this. And because it's giving you such magnification from, well, not magnification, it's not giving you the magnification you get from a macro lens, but it's bringing you closer to the subject. You can actually take reasonable pictures of, I would say, of larger insects, such as dragonflies and butterflies and things like that. You can take a reasonable picture. You may well have to crop in post. I mean, usually I crop anyway, but you have to crop in post. But you can get some quite good results. And what's interesting is I post a lot of pictures on Flickr and Twitter, and often in the comments and responses that I get from my pictures, people say, great, you know, they see a photograph that I've taken with this setup, and they say, great macro photograph. But I actually, at this point in time anyway, I don't own a macro lens. I take my pictures of insects and things with this lens. So it is possible to do that, and of course the great thing is, when I'm out in the woods like today, I can be on the lookout for birds and animals, whatever, and also, particularly at this time of year, there's so much other interest in terms of dragonflies, butterflies, even the grasshoppers are starting to get a bit bigger now. So I'm going to have a go at taking pictures of grasshoppers once the summer rolls on a bit, because they get quite large towards the end of the summer. At the beginning of the summer they're tiny, and now they're about, maybe some of them are around this big, maybe 3 centimeters long, 4 centimeters long, but they'll get a bit bigger as the summer wears on. So there's a lot to look out for, and that's what I love about this lens. It gives me the flexibility to take pictures of insects as well as birds. So I'll show you a selection of different so-called macro photographs that I've taken with this lens. Of course, I would never say this has got, you know, this would replace a macro lens. It wouldn't at all do that. It doesn't have the magnification, but And if you want to take pictures, close-up pictures of jumping spiders and things like that, where you see these wonderful photographs of, you know, the eyes of jumping spiders or tiny mites and things like that. This, I mean, I'll show you a photograph I took the other day of a hoverfly, and that's about the smallest kind of reasonable picture I think of a. It's about the smallest insect I'd really go for with this lens. But certainly, I mean, I would encourage you, if you've got one of these lenses, to give it a go. See, have a look at what you can take close up as well as far away. Because I think a lot of people see these lenses, and that's primarily why people buy them. You see these lenses as something, you know, to take that's at a distance. But you know, experiment, see how you get on with it with closer objects. Of course, there are some advantages to using this, and one of them is that because the objects are a bit further away, but you're getting the extra reach, you get a slightly better depth of field, I think, when you take a photograph of a butterfly or something with this lens than if you were able to get really close to a butterfly, where with a macro lens or a lens with a much shorter close focusing distance. So there are some advantages to using this, and of course but the main advantage, I would say, is skittish insects, particularly insects with good eyesight like dragonflies. Is very difficult to get close to them. So this enables you to get a reasonable picture of them while still being outside of the zone at which they feel uncomfortable and fly off. So there are some definite advantages to having a lens like this, and that's probably true of things like frogs and toads and maybe snakes and things like that, where as soon as you get near to them, they're going to be off. So yeah, so that's my my thoughts on this. It's not a replacement for a macro lens, but it's maybe an accompaniment to your close-up photography. So I hope you found this interesting, and if you've got access to something like this, I'd say give it a go. Thank you for watching.